I'm Nigel.
And I'm Brad.
And together, we're on a quest to uncover the grassroots innovation that makes Australia a very clever nation.
Ingenious Oz is touring the Northern Territory, where remote locations and tough conditions bring out incredible creativity in all sorts of people. Mate, how long till the next toilet stop?
Mate, you should have gone before we left. We're on our way to check out an incredibly innovative health service. The Purple House headquarters is in Alice Springs, but its impact is felt all over the territory. Its main purpose is to deliver culturally safe dialysis, but their work doesn't end there.
I love the fact that people walk through the door here at the Purple House and they're coming to get dialysis and to see a GP, but they're also coming to eat some bush tucker, pick up some bush medicine, have a sing. Those two worlds fit together really well, and the things that make this place significant are that the importance of family, Walcha, Nura country, Jukapa, dreaming, and Kunyi, compassion, are central to everything. So it is really an ingenious way of providing health services, because our bosses are the patients and their families. They're the ones that decide what happened here. They're the ones that decide where we go next. And they're now looking after this service that's got over 100 employees. We've got dialysis in 15 places. We're across state and territory borders, and just doing fabulous things.
So listening to your market and letting them guide you is important. The Purple House also has a purple truck with a mobile dialysis unit on board for any patients that need to go back to areas that don't have a clinic yet. And like most of the best innovation stories, this one started with seeing a problem, coming up with a useful idea, backed up with a ton of persistence.
Well, there was a particular dialysis patient stuck in town in the late 1990s called Mr. Zimran. He was a community leader for Kintor, and he'd been an important man all his life. He'd fought to get Kintor established, and suddenly he was stuck in Alice Springs, away from his family, away from his country, living on the fringes of Alice Springs, waiting for his next dialysis day. And he said, well, why can't we have a dialysis machine in Kintor, and then we can all go home and we can look after each other out bush? And so he started knocking on doors of politicians, and the politicians told him to bugger off, he was dreaming. And so most people then would go, oh, it's all too hard, and give up. But Kintor mob didn't. They thought, well, if we have some independent money, then we can set this up ourselves and the government won't be able to say no. And so they painted some beautiful pictures. They had an auction at the Art Gallery of New South Wales. Roy and HG were the auctioneers, and they raised $1 million in one night. So, and that was $1 million of independent money that meant that they could come up with their own model of care. It was their chance to prove they could do it, and they asked me to help.
To support their funding, they also sell a range of Indigenous bush medicine.
I could probably say that we've done dialysis on country for 400 or 500 people over the last 15 years. But there's all the extended families who haven't had to move to town because we've had dialysis out bush. And we have fellas who are just home, painting for their art centre, looking after their country.
Being with family,
chasing feral cats to make sure they don't eat all the bilbies, you know, getting on with life.
And that you can't measure, that's immeasurable.
You can't. And, I mean, you walk in this place, it doesn't feel like people have end-stage renal failure. It feels like a happy place where people are getting on with business, you know. We are the only dialysis centre that I can find where people come on their non-dialysis days to hang out with us. The only dialysis centre in the world that have got chickens, a pizza oven, a karaoke machine, and we're Kangaroo tails are cooked at least a couple of times a week on the fire. So it's
like a family.
Yeah, and it's an idea that came from the Territory. It's based in this place, and the creativity and the energy and the emphasis on cultural priorities has come from this place. It's such a no-brainer on so many levels, but it took Indigenous ingenuity, creativity and determination to make this happen and to keep it going.
It's getting better now. We're getting there somehow. So much better now, so start believing.